darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. And today I have another video inside of my Disciples Journal, which is from By the Well for God. I have a setup video and unboxing on my channel. If you guys want to check that out, I will list that below for you guys. I am going to do a bookshelf for a Bible tracker for the year 2025. So if you have been a follower of me, you know that last year I read through the New Testament with the Daily Grace Co. In a year. And so I use this Books of the Bible, sorry, not this one, I apologize. I use this Bible bookshelf stamp set from By the Well for God. I'm just going to open this up quickly. I know most of you have already seen it, and it comes with these stickers, and it comes with all the books of the Bible. These stickers have like the names of all those books, and yeah, you can add them on to your little bookshelf. So I still have the Old Testament left, which this year my goal is to read through all the Old Testament books. And I'm already making way through those Old Testament books. And so I wanted to create another Bible tracker, but this time in my Disciples Journal, since this is what I will plan to use during the year 2025. So I will try to insert a picture here of my 2024 Bible tracker. I really love the way that it turned out. You guys loved it as well. And so I want to do another one in here. And so if you caught my last video, you saw that I left a section open so I can do that here. I also have this divider, which also has all the books of the Bible, which is pretty handy. These snap in and out, so I'm going to pull this out. I am going to be using VersaFine Black Onyx ink. I love this ink because it's archival, so it is waterproof, so this is going to be perfect, especially since I'll be filling some things in. I am going to be using the Bible bookshelf stamp set. I love this stamp set. I'm also going to I'm not 100% sure yet, but I know I'm going to be using the Silas Alpha for title, and possibly be using the Books of the Bible stamp set. So if you have ran out of the stickers for your Books of the Bible bookshelf, you can use these. They are a tad bit bigger than the actual books, but I feel like they can still work. So I may be using these depending on if I am going to go ahead and stamp out all the books of the Old Testament first, or if I'm just going to stamp them out as I go through the books of the Bible. So that is something I have kind of in mind there. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward, and let's get to it. Let's dig in. Okay, darling. So the first thing you're going to see me do here is contemplate whether I should start with my title or if I should start with the actual shelf. And so I decided to go with the bookshelf because I wanted to make sure that I had first and foremost room for my bookshelf, and then I could add in my title. And if I needed to size down to a different alpha, I could. Thankfully, I didn't have to, and I left plenty of room for all the books of the Bible. I love the way By the Well for God put together this books or Bible books shelf because they made it in a way that's super easy to put together as long as you follow kind of the example that they have. There's no way that you can like mess up your bookshelf, and you can really customize it however you want, which you'll see me do a little here on this video. So I also love that with this journal, because it's on a coil, I can actually make it so it flips on itself, and I'm only stamping on the one page that I want to stamp on, which makes it better because I can use my table as that hard surface for my stamping. And so I begin to stamp out my Bible bookshelf. I'm going to start with the books, and then I'll add the shelf, which sounds a little bit backwards, but because I have this dot grid, I don't really need the shelf to keep my books straight. I'm just going by the grid. And this also allows me to, again, I'm trying to space this out as much as I can to make sure I have room for everything that I want to add on. So I start with the first set of books, which is the little plants, and it has 5 books, which are the books of the law. Then I move on to the books of history. And then I'm going to move on to the bottom where I do the poetry books. I do the major prophets along with that one. That's the one with the little glasses and the coffee cup. And then I also have the books of the minor prophets that I am going to add right next to that. If you guys see that at the top, I left a little space between the books of the law and the books of history. I did that purposefully because I wanted to kind of add something in between and kind of have that broken down. And so you'll see that later. Okay, here I am going to now stamp out my shelf. And again, because I'm using the dot grid to kind of measure out, I'm using that as kind of my guide. I had no problems with keeping my bookshelf straight, which is amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and grab my Believe highlighters. If you guys missed this video, I unboxed this and did a pen test, and I have been loving these so much. So I pulled out an array of colors that actually were already on my desk because I've been using these to do my Bible study notes and highlight my Bible because they match the colors that I pulled for the current March by the Well for God devotional, which is Silent Voices. So these colors were already the muted and pretty pastels of that kit. And I thought it was perfect because we are in spring. Well, at least I am saying that I am in spring. And I just think it's perfect for going into this season. The last bookshelf that I did was actually all autumn colors, and it was towards the end of 2024. And I really love that I was able to make this more pretty pastels to kind of have a different look going there. So I just went and I just randomly selected what books I was going to color in. I didn't have any rhyme or reason to it. I'm just going back and forth. I tried to make sure that I was making space for all the colors that I was going to be using. Okay, now I'm going to move on to creating my title. So for my title, and you guys missed it, but I actually pulled out a Crayola Silly Scents root beer color marker from my daughter's bag. That way I can color in the shelves in that deep brown because of course it's a dark color, so it wasn't part of the highlighters, but all the other colors are part of the Believe highlighters. So I'm using my VersaFine Black Onyx ink, and I'm using the Silas Alpha, which I am obsessed with, you guys, to create my title. So I wanted my title to say Bible reading tracker, and I wanted to add 2025, but I knew I was going to have space, and I still haven't purchased the Silas Alpha and the numbers, or Silas numbers. So maybe I'll add that later on, but I still know that this is 2025, so I'll probably add that maybe like in a date stamp towards the end of my year and add that here. But I am adding Bible reading tracker, and I really love that this alpha is kind of grungy, so it doesn't matter if your stamping is imperfect. And I think that's another reason why I'm really obsessed with it, because it kind of has that grungy, imperfect look. And I wasn't so worried about stamping it perfectly because, again, this is very forgiving as an alpha. So I'm using that to finish off my title, and then I will move on to dig in my stash. So one thing that I want to encourage you as well is look into your stash. Pull out those things that you already have. I pulled out two old stamp sets. One of them was A Heart at Rest, and the other one was Pots of Love. And these are old, guys. But I pulled these out because I knew I had some plants that I could add another little plant in between the books of the law and the history books. And so I go ahead and add that there. And then I kind of try and see if I could use any of the other stamp sets, but I didn't want to make it too crowded. But definitely both of these have some great picks if you want to dig in your stash and add to your bookshelf. So don't forget to shop your stash. Okay, darling, so this is it. This is how it turned out. I am going to go ahead and grab my stickers and my first couple of books. Let me make sure that I'm labeling this correctly. Yep, my first couple of books, and I always label mine this way, are going to go ahead and get laid on here. I'm currently in Leviticus, so this will get laid on as well. So there we go. So there we have my first set of books. I think Leviticus needs to be pulled up a little bit more. It's kind of off center with its book. I hope it doesn't tear. Okay, we're just gonna leave it there. There we go. So there is my reading tracker. I will list below any of the stamps that I use. I really love this muted, but like a mix of muted and pastel colors. I feel like I just feel like it comes together really well, especially since we're in the spring season, and it does kind of really match the cover and everything, so I like that as well. So yeah, I love how this turned out, and I hope to share more of the videos either setting up or working in my Disciples journal with you soon. So thank you so much for joining us each and every video, darlings. Make sure that you hit that like button, the notification bell, leave me any comments below. I so much appreciate your support on this channel. Linking everything below. God bless. Bye.